So, Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Steps. We'll continue from where we had start, 15th chapter. So, first let's chant the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. वंदेहम श्री गुरोः श्रीयुक्तापगतकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome to Bhakti Steps. We were reading from the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We had completed, I think, first 4 verses. First 5 verses. So we'll start with the 6th verse today. Okay. Before we start, a small recap. So this chapter is to know how to cut down the attachment to the Vedas. How to develop detachment, basically. How to develop detachment. And Krishna starts saying that this Veda trees that we see is actually the inverted tree. Roots are going up, branches are going down, fruits are down. One has to climb back towards the root, okay, and cut it down. Then with the weapon of detachment, you can go back to garden. In this tree, inverted tree, we try to enjoy, but we are sometimes happy, most of the time sad. Right? A person becomes very rich, and then what happens? He thinks he is happy. Some happiness comes definitely, but then with the too much of money comes too many problems. Too many relatives asking, people are cheating. He is worried, where will my money go? So that is the nature of this material world. Okay, that's the nature of this material world. That it is dual. There's happiness, sadness, both. But in the spiritual world, the happiness and sadness both lead to happiness only. There is no sadness. That sadness is also leading to happiness. So now we will move into text number 6. So Krishna says that when you become free from prestige, false prestige, illusion, and false association and dualities, then you enter into that eternal kingdom. Now he's going to talk a little bit about the eternal kingdom. That supreme abode of mind is not illuminated by sun nor moon nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it will never return to this material world. Suppose you want to rent a flat in Bangalore. Okay. What all considerations will you do? What all considerations will you do?
First, we will look for the flat which is suitable for us,
Suitable for us. Okay.
like the directions and all. I mean to say,
Right.
which
Then we will
direction and
see
all.
what all amenities are there, water is there or not, electricity is there or not. Right. Then we'll say how near it is to the school or to the market or to the office or to the bus stop or to the metro, right, or to the station. We'll consider all of this.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So Krishna is now giving the details of his house, and he says it is not illumined by sun or moon. Do you know why we require sun or moon? Because our universe is called Brahmanda. Have you heard this verse? Brahmanda.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Brahmanda means under. Under means under is what?
Egg.
Egg. So inside the egg there light?
Yes, there is life.
Not life, light. Light, light.
Oh, light. No, no.
So that's why we require one light. So sun and moon is there. Because in our Brahmanda, we are in this under which is covered with half water, and Vishnu is sleeping. Garbhodakshai Vishnu is sleeping. In his navel comes out a lotus flower, and all the 14 planet systems are built around it. So it is all dark. So we need moon and sun, and fire and electricity for heat, electricity for various purposes we need, right? But Krishna is saying my abode, it doesn't require sun, it doesn't require moon, it doesn't require fire, it doesn't require electricity. It is so great that one who goes never returns. One who goes never returns. So then, how there is light over there? It is self illuminated. So Krishna's abode, Golok Vrindavan, is self illuminated. It doesn't require external source of power. It is there within it only. So Krishna is telling about his home, and that this information should attract us. After going there, we never return. Is it like a prison that we don't return? No. It is self-illuminated. There's so many things he'll say. Okay, so we'll just go and read. See, only the sun is self-luminous in our case, but Krishna's Golok Vrindavan whole thing is self-illuminated. Okay, can someone read this highlighted section? One should be.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, good.
Thank you. One should be captivated by this information. He should desire to transfer himself to that eternal world and extricate himself from this false reflection of reality. For one who is too much attached to this material world, it is very difficult to cut that attachment. But if he takes to Krishna consciousness, there is a chance of gradually becoming detached. One has to associate himself with devotees, those who are in Krishna consciousness. One should search out a society dedicated to Krishna consciousness and learn how to discharge devotional service. How to discharge devotional service in
Sorry.
No, it's okay. In this way, he can cut off his attachment to the material world. One cannot become detached uh, from the from the attraction of the material world simply by dressing himself in saffron cloth. He must become attached to the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, one should take it very seriously that devotional service, as described in the 12th chapter, is the only way to get out of this false representation of the real tree. In chapter 14, the contamination of all kinds of processes by material nature is described. Only devotional service is described as purely transcendental. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. So basically we have to cut this attachment. Now my basic question is, we can try to cut that attachment, but is it easy or is it difficult?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Difficult, Prabhu.
Yeah, yeah. Hare Krishna.
It is easy. Not, I mean, it is a little difficult, in fact. What to say, Prabhuji, then? Because if Krishna's blessings are there, it is easy.
Okay,
Definitely.
I'll give you answer. I suppose everyone has children in this group call. So let's say your child is 1 year or 2 years old. Okay. Now it has held in its hand something like a cooking item, you know, a spoon or a spade, whatever, or a knife. Let's knife. And somehow the child is very attracted to that knife. Now, if you try to take away that knife from him, what will happen?
It will hurt him, definitely.
And the child will cry,
Yes.
right? Now, how will you do it? But we have to remove that. We have to remove the knife from his hand. So now, what is the strategy?
We have
What's
to give him some chocolate or some
some
playing
other
item.
thing? Some other thing we have to give.
Yes.
We have to say, you take this, give me that, and that other thing should be attractive, right?
Attractive more than the knife.
That is the answer. We cannot cut the attachment so easily unless something higher than that comes in our hand. See, till now we have been enjoying this material world so many lifetimes, right? We don't even know how many lifetimes. We can't even count it. The Vedas say it is nitya baddha. Nitya means eternal. Okay, nitya baddha. Eternally taking new bodies. Now, um, we are so much accustomed to this material world, right, that it is very difficult for us to get out of the attachment. So the only option is Krishna consciousness or bhakti. Bhakti is the only thing. When we get bhakti and when we experience the happiness in that bhakti, then we can cut down many attachments. So all of you have come in bhakti, right, in association of devotees, and you are trying to practice whatever number of rounds you're chanting, etc., studying and all that. What are the few attachments that you gave away very easily after coming to bhakti, after coming to bhakti yoga? Can you tell me? You could just easily give away. Like in my case, I could give away the tea. It was easy for me.
Prabhuji, like I can get up early right now, so it's very easy for me now. That because before that, there is no reason to get up early. Actually,
Oh, okay. So after getting up early, you could feel the happiness, right, of spiritual activity, of the sattva, the mode of goodness that is there in the early times, right? Early
yes,
day of
Prabhuji.
morning. Yeah. Okay. So you could cut the attachment to sleep. Anyone
Yes,
else?
Prabhuji.
Anyone else?
Prabhuji. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could leave this onion and garlic.
Okay, good.
So after leaving, I started getting the real taste of vegetables. Previously, previously,
True.
previously only onion and garlic taste used to be
Yeah,
there.
you're right actually.
Correct,
You're
correct,
right. So much of onion is put, right? Then
correct.
the other vegetables, right? The taste is not there. True.
Uh, correct.
Okay. Anything more? So point is that this bhakti yoga is working. Even though we may not be Shuddha Bhakta, we may not be pure devotees, but it is working for us. We are able to get up early, we are able to give tea, we are able to give onion garlic. So many things. There was one devotee, they used to get up in the midnight to watch some cricket match that is happening somewhere in Australia or something. After coming to Krishna consciousness, they lost interest in cricket. They lost interest in cricket.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, one more thing, Prabhu. I lost interest in reading newspaper.
Wow, that's a great thing, I would say.
Yeah. I stopped buying itself, Prabhu. It's a waste of time. Nothing else will be
Okay,
there.
okay. Yeah, I still have some problem with newspapers. Hmm. So point is, we get something higher taste, then we can easily give up lower taste. Okay, but you may find that some people may still struggle because of the severe attachment they have. Like sometimes, government makes nice house for these poor people, but the poor people, they are more attached to their jhopdas. They are more attached to the huts, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so that is too much attachment. So we will find that people will find it difficult, but then many people will be able to give up and take to some devotional service, right? Hmm. So it's a working thing. The word Paramam Mama is very important here. Actually, every nook and corner is the property of the Supreme Lord. But the Supreme World is Paramam, full of six opulences. The Katha Upanishad also confirms. In the spiritual world, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, or stars. For the whole spiritual sky is illuminated by the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. So it is self-illuminated. You don't need a sun, you don't need electricity. For electricity, you have to do so much of things, right? You have to set up a power plant. First of all, stop the flow of the river, build a wall, set up the power plant, and then install various what they call electric poles, then have it a transformer nearby which will convert it. This whole thing is like many many kilometers, and then bring it to your home. In your home, do wiring, and then put one bulb, and then turn it on. Click. So much of effort and money goes into this, right? And time goes into this. But the spiritual sky is completely with self-illuminated. So such information should be very captivating, that we are going to go to such a place. It is self-illuminating. Now this is a very nice verse, 15.7. So we'll read the shloka. ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूत सनातनः मनषष्ठानि इंद्रियाणि प्रकृति स्थानि करशति. Mama eva amsha. Mine. Mama is mine. Eva amsha. Amsha is fragmental part. My parts are these jivas. They are living in this world, loke. Bhuta sanatanaha. They are like sanatana. Eternally they are living here. What is happening with them? Mana shashta indriyani. With mind and shashta. Shashta is six. With six indriyas, senses. Prakriti sthani karshati. In the prakriti, in this world where they are situated, karashati. Karashati means karshana, kashta. Have you heard the word kashta? It's a traditional word, kashta. Is it used in Telugu, Kannada? Kashta. Kashta.
Kashta means for Kashto, that is.
In Bengali also kashta is used.
Kashta is
Yes,
problem,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Problem, difficulties in Telugu.
So in Marathi also it is kashta. Kashta means very difficult, meaning struggling. So that word, it comes from this karashati. You see, even the spelling is also a little similar only. Kashta, karashati. So point is, we are just struggling in this world eternally, but we are Krishna's part and parcel. Amsha. We are Krishna's amsha. It's a very important word. Where in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, "You are all my part and parcel." Here, 15.7. Therefore, Krishna can say, "Aham sarvasya prabhu, mata dhata pitamaha." I am your mother, father, and grandfather. So all these things starts connecting. Okay. Okay. Someone read this highlighted section.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
In this verse, the identity of the living being is clearly given. The living entity is the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord eternally. It is not that he assumed individuality in his conditional life and in his liberated state becomes one with the Supreme Lord. He is eternally fragmented. It is clearly said, Sanatanaha. According to the Vedic version, the Supreme Lord manifests and expands himself in innumerable expansions, of which the primary expansion are called Vishnu Tattva and the secondary expansions are called the living entity.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
So these Vishnu Tattvas are nothing but the Rama, Krishna, Vishnu Murtis. Meaning 400 form Ran, Narayan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Ananta Shesh. These are all Vishnu Tattvas. Okay. As fragmental parts of the Supreme Lord, the living entity also have fragmental portion of his qualities. So we also have some qualities that Krishna has because we are his part, right? Our child has some qualities that we have. Okay. We sometimes call the mini version. Our mini version, we say, right? So we are Krishna's mini version. Some qualities we have, of which independence is one. We have some independent will. Okay. Krishna is giving some independent will. You decide what you want to do. This is the situation. You decide what you want to do. This is the facility. You decide whether you want to take it or not. By misuse of that independence, one becomes a conditioned soul. But we misuse it. How we misuse it? We say, Krishna, I don't want you. I will enjoy independently. Sometimes children do like that. Mommy, I don't want you. You go away. And then after 1 hour, 2 hours, they again come back to mommy and say, I am hungry. I need to go here. I need to do this and all that. Why? Because that's the way it is now. That whole independent nature, the child is dependent on the parents. He understands after some beating, after being alone. Similarly, we also understand after being alone for so many lifetimes, we come to know, okay, I am a dependent guy. I am dependent on the Supreme Lord. That Supreme Lord is Krishna. I am dependent on Krishna. I'll go back to him. Then we'll become happy. In either case, he is qualitatively eternal, as the Supreme Lord is. In his liberated stage, he is freed from this material condition and he is under the engagement of transcendental service into the Lord. In his conditional life, he is dominated by material modes of nature and he forgets transcendental loving service of the Lord. As a result, he has to struggle very hard to maintain his existence in the material world. The word karashati, struggling, grappling hard, is very significant. The conditioned soul is bound up as though shackled by iron chains. He is bound up by false ego. Mind is the chief agent which is driving him in this material existence. If the Jivatma takes birth as a dog, then that whole body is making him run like a dog, right? Wag the tail, bark, right? If he gets the body of a like a tiger, how many of you have gone to Banerghatta Zoo? Or how many of you seen the tiger very closely? Has anyone seen tiger very closely? Anyone? Yes or no?
Yeah, I have. I did not see Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. Okay, whoever has seen, do you observe one thing in the tiger that you don't see in a dog? That you don't see in a cat? There is one thing that the tiger is doing. That's something, dogs and cats we don't see.
I don't know, Prabhuji. Uh,
So I was at Banerghatta Zoo maybe 2 years back, and there were these two tigers, and in between was this fence, and one tiger was looking at another tiger, and he was moving, swaying, and there was full anger on that face. Both the tigers were angry at each other. Wah, wah, wah. They were doing like this. I was pretty shocked, that whole body is bringing out anger, such strong anger emotions, right? Sometimes we can calm down, a dog or a cat, but tiger, very difficult, right? So, point I want to mention is once inside that body, we can't do anything. We have to act like that tiger, right? We have to act like a tiger. We just can't do anything. So it's like being shackled by iron chains. He is bound up by false ego, and mind is a chief agent which is driving him in his material existence. When the mind is in mode of goodness, his activities are good. When it is in passion, his activities are troublesome. And when it is in ignorance, he travels in lower species of life. It is stated here that when a living entity gives up the material embodiment and enters into the spiritual world, he revives his spiritual body, and his spiritual body he can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. He can hear and speak to him face to face. And he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is. From Smriti also it is understood. In the spiritual world, everyone lives in bodies featured like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Spiritual body. As far as bodily construction is concerned, there is no difference between the part and parcel living entity and the expansion of Vishnu Murti. In other words, at liberation, the living entity gets spiritual body by the grace of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The words Mama Eva Ansha, fragmental parts and parcel of Supreme Lord, are also very significant. The fragmental portions of the Supreme Lord is not like some material broken part. We have already understood in the second chapter that the spirit cannot be cut into pieces. This fragment is not materially conceived. It is not like matter which can be cut into pieces and joined together. The conception is not applicable here. So fragment doesn't mean that it's broken part. No. We are eternally there. Just like sun and its light. Eternally there. It's not like the light is cut out from the sun. No. They are just there. The fragmental position is eternal. It is, however, understood here that the living entity, being fragmental part and parcel of the Lord, is qualitatively one with the Lord, just as part and parcel of the gold are also gold. Now, if you have a gold dust or gold grain, that is same as a gold necklace. There is no difference. Qualitatively, it's one. Okay. The living entity in this world carries his different conception of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Does he take one kind of body and again quits it to take another? So I was talking about, a cat and a dog. That will make us force like and live like a cat and a dog. One gets different bodies according to karma, and he has to quit this body in due course. It is stated here that a subtle body which carries the conception of next body develops another body in the next life. This process of transmigrating from one body to another is struggling while in the body is called karashati, or struggle for existence. Whichever body we may be, we are always struggling. Struggle doesn't stop, isn't it?
100% true, Prabhuji.
Man's body, woman's body. There was a child, and he was seeing how uh, a female body gives birth to a child, an animal or a woman. You know what he said at the end? Do you know? Can you guess what he said after hearing all this? How a childbirth happens and all. You know what that boy said? Any guess? He said, thank God I didn't get female body. Okay, so every body has some of the other problems. Hmm? Every body has some of the other problems. We may go up and down, any animal body and all that. It is always struggling. In human life, the struggle is little less. In animal life, it is too much. In demigod, devata life, it is very less. Almost no struggle. Hmm? But demigod life ends. One day it ends. So that struggle, it comes like, it ends one day. The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, nose, tongue, sense of touch, which is grouped around the mind. Thus, he enjoys a particular set of sense objects. This is again the same thing. If a jivatma in a cat, dog, they will be able to do certain things more. They can smell very nicely. They can see things from things which are very far away. Like eagle or hawk. The tongue will be always out. You know. So he enjoys a particular set of sense objects. The foolish cannot understand this, how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of material nature. But one whose eyes are trained in the knowledge can see all this. We all have seen automatic doors, right? The door opens when we come near, then the door closes. Isn't it? We have experienced this in the mall, in any shop or something. Do you see that children sometimes play with this automatic doors? Have you experienced that?
Yes, Prabhuji, I've seen.
Why? Because they think that nobody is there and it is automatically opening, automatically closing, right? There's no one. Now, do you really think there is anyone behind these automatic doors? Is there a person behind these automatic doors? Yes or no?
Not physically, but it is designed in that way, right?
Yeah, it is designed that way. So, if we have that engineering knowledge, if we have that engineering knowledge, then I'm also electronic engineer. So I know how this whole thing works, the sliding door. There is an embedded system device there. There's a controller to it. Then there are motors to it. There are chains which are connecting the doors. And then there is a motion sensor. The motion sensor senses some person coming near, going away. Then that information, it passes to the controller. The controller has software running. The software decides, is the person coming near or far? If it's coming near, let's open the door. If it's going away, then close the door. It will instruct, it will send messages to the motor to open and close. Now this whole system is working kind of automatically, but it was programmed by a human being, right? Programmed by engineer.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it was programmed by engineers. Now, why we are discussing all these things? Here the question is, those who are trained in this knowledge can see all this. So if an engineer can understand, okay, this automatic door works like this. But the children who are not trained in this knowledge, what will they do? They'll simply play with it. While the
Hare
engineer,
Krishna.
yeah.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. Not only children, even at this age, I enjoy that.
Okay. Yeah. But an engineer will tell, what is this? There is this motion sensor. That is what is doing the magic. It is not magically opening and closing. There is intelligence behind it. And an intelligent being put that intelligence behind it. So Krishna is saying, just like the Shastras say, we quit the body, we get another body. Only who are trained in this knowledge can see this. So Jnana Chakshu is very significant. Without this knowledge, we will not understand how things are working. So that's why some people now find it very difficult to understand. For them, some proofs they need. So we give them reincarnation proof, near near death experience proof. Then some faith comes. Okay, we discuss this. Okay. The enduring and transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly. So the yogis, they can see this. They are trained in all this. We are also practicing yogis, practicing bhakti yogis. So we are trained in this knowledge. Therefore, we see. But whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try. So some people, they may not be able. They are not in Krishna consciousness. Their minds are not developed. They are too much attached to this world. They will not be able to see this transmigration of soul into new bodies. Okay, can someone read this section? There are many transcendentalists.
Can I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. There are many transcendentalists on the path of spiritual self realization, but one who is not situated in self realization cannot see how things are changing in the body of the living entity. The word yogina is significant in this connection. In the present day, there are many so called yogis and there are many so called association of yogis, but they are actually blind in the matter of self realization. They are simply addicted to some sort of gymnastic exercise and are satisfied if the body is well built and healthy. They have no other information. They are called yatanto, pya,
Yatanto
manaha,
api akratatmanaha.
akratamanaha. Even though they are endeavoring in a so called yoga system, they are not self realized. Such people cannot understand the process of the transmigration of the soul. Only those who are actually in the yoga system and have realized the self, the world, and the Supreme Lord, in other words, the Bhakti yogis, those engaged in pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness, can understand how things are taking place.
Hmm.
Hare Krishna.
So today, so many yoga studios are there. But are they teaching bhakti yoga? Are they teaching any devotion to Krishna? Are they teaching any yogic process? No. The whole aim is that you do this yoga, you do this exercise, pranayam, so that you have healthy body. You can live a long life, healthy life, and then you can enjoy, you can travel, you can do this, you can do that, right? That is the whole purpose of today's yoga societies. But that pranayam and ashtanga and yogasanas, these are small part of the yoga system, of a big yoga system, and those are meant so that you can control the mind and senses. You can control the mind and senses. Okay. Okay, so we should not fall down for such false yoga studios. It's okay to learn the yogasanas and pranayam, but we should always understand that all is meant to not just to have healthy body, but to have healthy soul also. So spiritual activities, spiritual knowledge, those are very important. The splendor of sun which dissipates the darkness of this cold world comes from me, and the splendor of moon and the splendor of fire also comes from me. So in this Brahmanda, where does the sun come from? Where does the moon come from? Everything Krishna says comes from me. Can you read this section from this verse? Can someone read?
Ye- Yes, Prabhuji, I will. Yeah. From this verse, we can understand that the sun is illuminating the whole solar system. There are different universes and solar system, and there are different suns, moons, and planets also. But in each universe, there is only one sun. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.21, the moon is one of the stars, Naksharatanam Aham Sasi. Sunlight is due to the spiritual effulgence in the spiritual sky of the Supreme Lord. With the rise of the sun, the activities of human beings are set up. They set fire to prepare their foodstuff. They set fire to start the factories, etc. So many things are done with the help of fire. Therefore, sunrise, fire, and moonlight are so pleasing to the living entities. Without their help, no living entity can live. So, if one can understand that the light and splendor of the sun, moon, and fire are emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, then one's Krishna consciousness will begin. Shall I
Uh,
continue, Prabhuji?
yeah, continue, continue.
By the moonshine, all the vegetables are nourished. The moonshine is so pleasing that people can easily understand that they are living by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Without His mercy, there cannot be sun. Without His mercy, there cannot be moon. And without His mercy, there cannot be fire. And without the help of sun, moon, and fire, no one can live. These are some thoughts to provoke Krishna consciousness in the conditioned soul.
Okay. So here the gist is that okay, everything is coming from Krishna. I need to be grateful to him, right? I need to be grateful to him. Now, um, yeah, my wife tells me about her father, who is not there presently. He died long time back. So he worked in ECIL in Hyderabad. ECIL is a government company, and he worked there throughout his life. He and his wife, both mother-in-law, they both worked for many years over there. And my wife told that every day before going to ECIL, my father would look at the picture of A.S. Rao. A.S. Rao was the person who started that company, ECIL, government company. He started that. Okay, he was the first person to construct, to develop it, and all that. And he used to touch the picture of A.S. Rao on his head, hmm? And then he used to go. Now, why such people would do such things? Can you tell me? Have you seen your grandfather, grandmother doing such things?
To get inspired from them, Prabhuji,
Okay,
to
one
become
means
like them, because
one
we
means
have A.S. Rao Nagar on his name.
yeah, that
One
whole place is called A.S. Rao Nagar.
Yes, locality itself is there. I'm
Ah,
from Hyderabad
yes.
basically. I'm settled in Bangalore. But
Uh,
when you said this, I got triggered there. That's the
yeah,
thing.
but why people used to do that?
Do to
Why,
want to reach that
I mean,
heights,
touching the picture of these people on their head, and like Gandhi and
blessings.
like okay, blessings second, like Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose pictures are on 26th August, 26th January and 15th August, right? Why? Why they put flowers on the pictures and all that? Offer flowers and all. That may be respect, inspiring, all that. But what is the basic thing? The basic principle is gratefulness, kritagnata. Because you all fought for the nation, that's why we are today freed, right? That's why we are free people today. So my father-in-law, would you think that because you started this ECIL, that's why I am getting my salary? And many ECL employees, they could buy land, and in that whole AS Rao Nagar, all the employees had bought land and they built their houses. This is all back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, where people were really, really poor, like 200, 300 rupees per month salary. From that, you could build your home and, send your children to school, educate them. So that gratefulness was there because this person did so much. That's why I am living so nicely today. So he was expressing that gratefulness. Similarly, now we'll come back to Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is saying everything comes from him, sun, moon, everything. So we become grateful to Krishna. That gratefulness, that simple gratefulness is the starting of bhakti. Krishna in 9th chapter, he says a very, very simple thing. How to start bhakti, how to do bhakti. Do you know which shloka in the 9th chapter? What is this? Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktevyam atmanah matparayanaha. Manmana bhava madbhakto. Bhava means bhava madbhakto. Actually it's bhava. So always think of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, worship me. Being absorbed in me, you will come to me. Out of this one, right? Offer obeisances to me. This is kritagnyata. The children pay obeisances to parents, to grandfather, grandmother. Why? Out of respect, out of gratitude. Because of you, I have come. You are taking care of me physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? That's why I pay obeisances to you. I do namaskara to you. That is the way of expressing kritagnata, gratefulness. You get? When one does that to Krishna, then bhakti starts. Simple, right? So that's what we read in
But
this.
with me, sometimes some people, including me also, like like I even don't know that who is God actually. So like for that, it was very difficult, like Bhagavad. But there is a no specific one, right? I mean
Yeah.
that maybe.
Yeah.
So, like, if I thank to Bhagavan, so is it like we are mentioning Krishna only, or not any other person?
Okay. You know, in the tribal areas, they worship the sun because the sun is powerful. It is giving them light. They know that through the sun only the trees grow. Through the trees, they get their fruits and their grains and their subsiding on that, right? So they worship the sun. For them, there is no knowledge, nothing, no Vedas, nothing. The sun comes from Krishna. So they ultimately worshipping Krishna only, indirectly. So those who don't know who is the Supreme, but they understand that yes, I am doing this as a gratefulness to the Supreme. Even if they go to the Devata and all that, indirectly it is coming to Krishna. So it's an indirect worship of Krishna. What to speak of direct worship then? Getting?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So yeah, people may have various convictions and understanding about God. They may not fully agree with what we are telling. Okay, fine. They can continue what they're doing, what to do. And if they add Krishna to their life, then that is great.
But Prabhuji, sometimes they mixed up Devata with like Krishna also. Like they think all are one, so we can worship anyone
Oh, okay.
to them.
See, the thing is, okay. So the thing is, they may consider Krishna to be another devata, right? That is the issue, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. I mean, they
Yeah,
worship all other devotas, including Krishna
including
also. I
Krishna.
mean, they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. By doing that also they will advance. Because they are worshipping Krishna. Not as the Supreme Lord, but as a Devata. So advancement is there on the path of Krishna. If they don't worship Krishna, but let's say they worship Shiva, there also they will advance. If they don't worship Shiva, but they worship the sun, there also they will advance. Some worship the ocean. Some worship the rivers. The pantheistic way. That God is all in this thing, nature. Some worship the nature. Some worship the fire. They will advance slowly. That's the point. They will advance, but they will advance gradually. Now, to the understanding that all gods are one. Okay, that we need to have clarity. All gods are one. Is this statement true or false?
True.
From one side, it is true because all are we coming from Krishna only because from
Okay.
starting Krishna was only there.
The right understanding is that if yes, then they are of same quality. Okay, they are of the same quality. That is spirit. Okay, and if we say no, then
Quantity.
quantity. Yes, quantity. Here quantity means what? Here quantity means
We have like a very small,
yeah, they are
very
semi-gods or demigods. They are semi-gods, but not supreme god. Okay, they may be powerful, but not supreme powerful. That is what it means. So the technical word is there are Ishvara, but not Parameshvara. Got it?
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So they are one in sense, they are Ishvaras because they are controlling it. But is there someone Parameshvara? Then these gods don't come into picture. Parameshvara is only Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. And Krishna says, the devatas come from me. Where does he say? Let's see. 10, 10, 10, 10. Yeah. The great sages before me, the four great sages, the Manus, they come from me. Because they come from me, they don't know me. Neither the hosts of the demigods nor the sages know my origin. For I am the source of demigods and sages. So here he says 10.2. Na me vidu suragana. Suragana. Gana means gun, meaning group. Suras. Suras are nothing but devatas. Asuras are rakshasas. So all the devata gana, they don't know me. Prabhava na maharshaya. Maharishaya. All the rishis, the maharishis, they also don't know me. Aham adir hi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasya. Aham adir hi devanam. Adi. Because These devatas came through me, or I am the origin, Adi. I am the origin of these devatas. I am the origin of the Marshis. How can they know me? Do our children know us? To some extent only. Do they know fully about us? No. Okay. Okay. We'll do 2 verses and then we'll stop. I enter into each planet and by my energy they stay in object. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. So how does the vegetable get flavor, taste? Because of the moonlight. They grow of the sunlight, but the taste that they get comes from the moonlight. Okay. Human society, or let's start from here. Without moonshine, the vegetables can neither grow nor taste succulent. Human society is working, living comfortably, enjoying food due to supply from the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, mankind cannot survive. The word rasatmakaha is very significant. Everything becomes palatable by the agency of the Supreme Lord through the influence of the moon. Then, I am the fire of digestion in the bodies. In the stomach, there are chemicals. When they mix with the food, fire comes out. Fire incense means that it's not agni, it is like heat and all that. So that is nothing but fire. I join with the air of life, outgoing, incoming, to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuffs. So we breathe. That breathing goes in our stomach. The chemicals in our stomach, they mix with the food. They decompose it. They break it. That fire breaks it down. And who is the fire of digestion? Krishna. If Krishna stops helping us in the digestion, we won't live. Unless Supreme Lord helps him in digestion, there is no possibility of eating. He thus produces digest foods. Now, why this all information is given? So that we can become grateful to him. Right? Everything, even the digestion is coming from him. Even vegetables are growing and they are getting taste because of Krishna. Hmm? The sun, the moon, everything is coming from Krishna. The ocean, everything, the rivers, everything. So that will help us in making grateful to him. Okay. So we'll stop here and open up for some any questions or comments. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments?
Prabhuji, can I ask you one question from the other book which I was reading? Like,
Okay.
uh, Krishna, Devaki, and Vasudev, it is said that their Vatsalya prem is including Aishwarya, but Yashodama and that Vatsalya prem is completely pure. That if we say that the Braja plane is completely pure and others it's included Aishwarya. But
Right.
it is said also that in front of Devaki, Krishna came with his four-handed form.
Hmm.
So why don't Krishna showed this four-handed form to Yashodama? Then it was also with that Vatsalya prem with Aishwarya.
No, with Yashoda it is not with Aishwarya.
I mean, I just want to know why Krishna did not show this form to Yashodama. I mean, he can also show his four-handed form to her also. Why Krishna only showed this his Aishwarya form to this Devaki and Vasudeva?
Hmm. So when he came in front, he showed his four-handed form. Right?
Yes,
And they worshipped
yes.
him.
Hmm.
Ah. But what happens here? He didn't show because Yashoda was holding a stick. And here he showed because Devaki didn't do anything. If somebody shows a stick, you don't show, right? You run away. That's why he didn't show. He once tried to show Yashoda. To see in the mouth of Krishna. What did she see? The whole universe.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And then she said,
But again, she forget because of Yoga Maya. Like,
yeah, she started thinking, oh, Krishna may be Vishnu. From him everything comes. And then she started thinking, I need to worship him. But Krishna said, no, no, you are my mother. So then he immediately closed his mouth. And then she came back as mother and picked up the stick again. Are you coming home or not? So it is the quality of love. It is the quality of love. Okay. In Devaki and Krishna and Vasudev, the love is with reverence, with respect. They will never shout at Krishna. Okay. But in Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, it is Vatsalya Bhav without that Aishwarya, where they will shout at Krishna, they will get angry on him, right? So that quality is there. So it's like, uh,
is it Prabhuji because Devaki and Vasudev already knew that Krishna will born to their family, so they
they
can
already
worship
knew
him.
Krishna is Vishnu. That is one thing. But then their love was not like Yashoda. We need to understand
Okay.
this thing. That according to the love, Krishna is going to reciprocate. So many years later, Krishna came to Kurukshetra. When he was Dwarkadish, when he was in Dwarka, married with so many wives, they came once to Kurukshetra to perform yajna. And then Vrajavasis also came. Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, they also came to Kurukshetra. Now, Krishna was a king. So he was surrounded all by his ministers and family members and soldiers. And these Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, they are villagers. So they couldn't enter into the circle of Krishna. They came to know Krishna is here and he's doing Havan, Yagya. In that Yagya, all the Brahmanas are saying Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. And Yashoda is saying, my Krishna, my Kana, I want to go visit. I want to see him. But the guards, they stood and they said, no, you cannot go. So there Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they both sat and they started crying. And Yashoda said, my Krishna, my Krishna, my Kana, my Kana. And there Krishna was sitting in the yajna and all he was hearing Swaha, Swaha. And suddenly he started hearing my Krishna, my Krishna, my Kana, my Kana. And then he understood that Yashoda has come. So he stood up. He stood up and he looked in the direction where Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj are. And he started running. And he ran. And he jumped in the lap of Yashoda. By the time he jumped in the lap of Yashoda, that Krishna, who was a grown person, he became a baby in front of Yashoda. So it is the quality of love. It's the quality of that love. So Krishna will reciprocate according to that quality. There's one more pastime.
Okay.
There's one more pastime where he was dancing with the gopis in the Ras Leela. Now, suddenly while dancing, he disappeared. He ran away in one direction. Okay. He ran away in one direction. And all the gopis started searching, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where did he go? And the intensity for Krishna was so much that they were asking the trees and the birds and where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? They were asking. Now Krishna wanted to fool them. So he took a form. He took this form. This is Alarnath uh, in Jagannath Puri. There's a place Alarnath. This is the form he took. Four-handed form of Vishnu. Okay. And then the gopis looked at him and they did namaskara and they said, "Oh Vishnu, did you see our Krishna? Where did he go?" And then Krishna used all his four hands and showed them the direction where he went. And the gopis, they started moving in that direction. Seeing the love of the gopis, Krishna couldn't maintain his four hands. He became two-handed Shyam Sundar. So from four hand he became two-handed Shyam Sundar. So the point is that the quality of love Krishna will reciprocate. So from four-handed he became two-handed. Even in Bhagavad Gita it happens like that. He showed the universal form. Where it is? He showed the universal form. Arjuna got fearful of this universal form. He said, "Come back into your original form." Then he showed four-handed Vishnu form and then he showed two-handed Krishna form. Then Arjuna was happy. So depending on the love of the devotee, Krishna will show his form. But Krishna's original form is two-handed. Okay, Shyam Sundar, two-handed. So it is up to that form. Like your son or daughter, they may join the army, they may join the police. Let's say they came after the duty. What are they wearing? They're wearing that uniform, right? They're wearing that green uniform, khaki uniform, whatever.
Yes.
But for their mother, in front, when they come inside the home, will they remain in that khaki uniform? They will change that dress, na? They will come back in that, maybe dhoti or pant or something.
Yes.
So in the home, Krishna will act differently. Outside, he will act differently. Outside, he is four-handed from Krishna. In the home, he is two-handed from. You got this answer? So there are
Yes,
many ways to
Prabhuji.
look at it. Many ways to look at it. When Krishna is in Golok Vrindavan, it's like his home. When he is in Dwarka and all that, it's like his office. Okay. And then according to devotee also, he will react. Devaki and Vasudev, four-handed form of Krishna. But to Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, two-handed form Krishna. Playing, putting food in anybody's mouth, taking from their mouth. When Brahmaji saw this, that he is eating a jhuta, what Krishna did? One Gopa, his friend, had brought something, very nice food, but he didn't want to give Krishna. He put it in his mouth, and his mouth became full up. So now Krishna wanted to eat. What he did? He slapped his face, and out came that food, and Krishna ate that. When Brahma saw this, that these they are playing. When Brahma saw that they are playing like this, that they are playing like this, putting food in anybody's mouth, picking up from there, this is not my Vishnu. This is not my Vishnu. So then Krishna had to show Brahmaji, I am that Vishnu. So to show that I am that Vishnu, let me say, called the Brahma Vimohan Leela. Do you see this? Brahma said, oh, this is not my Vishnu. So then what he did? All the forms became Vishnu, four-handed form. And then Brahma said, oh, this is my Vishnu. This is my Vishnu. So, for Brahma, Krishna is like four-handed. But in Vrindavan, he's two-handed, he's playing, he's getting shouted, he's getting angry, he's playing mischief. And even Brahma is confused. Even Brahma is confused. So then he had to show his four-handed form, and then Brahma said, Arey, this is my Vishnu, right? Like that. Okay. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Any last question? Okay. So we'll stop here.